Hello, everyone. It's that day of the week, the one I love. And I tell you, a close second is Saturday because I have my meetup group on Saturday, and I really love the group. Just like with this show, we build a community when we do these kind of things, and it helps me. You just feel like you're part of something. So, anyway, I do love Wednesday. I love Saturday. That's my meetup group. Anyway, for those of you that aren't local, you know, another time, sometime, maybe we'll find each other in person. Okay, so today's show, just to remind you, it's a new series I'm doing. This is episode 4. It's the Blog Talk Radio Show plus the video. It's about a half hour. And I still feel like kind of a newbie at this video thing, so please, again, give me some space here. And today I wanted to talk about, last week, I talked about the divine energies, what the higher selves call the pure soul essence. But I hope I made it clear it doesn't really matter what term you use. It's just the higher selves use a term and then they explain what they mean so that we're all on the same page and there aren't any false assumptions. Well, today I'm going to be using another term. And this term is the term amalgamating. Now, amalgamating is, again, one of those unfamiliar words, perhaps, that might put people off, and it's not meant to do that. I'm just so used to it because I learned the information using that term, and so it just flows out of my mouth very easily. And it simply means to become one with those divine energies that I talked about last week, okay? And we need to talk about amalgamating because this is how we access those divine energies. Now, because they're divine, the pure soul essence, the originating source, they are carried at the divine will level. The true soul essence of the fifth dimensional here on the planet, carrying the dual soul nature, both the human nature and the human soul and the facade human soul and the true soul, that fifth dimensional soul aspect that so many of us here carry. In any case, that part, that fifth dimensional part, is also in the divine will level. So the amalgamation process is simply a way, and it's actually just in 2 pieces. I mean, it's very simple. It's a way to give permission and invite in those divine energies into our free will arena. If the divine will could just fix this willy-nilly, it would, and then none of us would have any problems. So we need to do something to access those energies, give them permission, and say, hey, I need the help that is provided there, and I want to invite them in. Now, there's a very, very simple technique. I know it might sound a little bit complicated when I explain it all, but I'm going to give you a lot of detail. But once you understand it, you don't need that detail to actually use the energies. And I will be demonstrating, not on this show, but I will be demonstrating exactly how to do the amalgamation in a very simplified form so that each and every one of you can use it. Once we give permission to those divine energies, we can do 2 things. We can use it to heal ourselves and others, the planet. We can use it to heal parts in the universe. We can use it to heal the astral, bring the astral into a higher state of balance. We can do a lot of stuff with those divine energies because they are really powerful. We can also get information from those energies. And my show is called The Higher Self Voice. Well, I get the information. Joan Culpepper before me, and now me, she did and I do get the information from the higher frequency levels of the fifth dimensional aspect that I carry and many others carry, and even fifth dimensionals that aren't part of me, because I can call in a conglomerate of the higher self energies. In any case, we all can get information too from this energy stream, from the frequency. It's information that's powerful, it's usable, it's fascinating. It takes a bit of time to get used to how to do it, but hey, I can do it. I was a stone when I started. Literally, I was just I couldn't see, hear, sense anything. I was just unbelievably pathetic, and all these people around me were saying, oh, seeing colors, getting information, seeing images. I wasn't doing anything for a long time, but I was motivated, so I just kept practicing. And like any ability, you just have to practice. You have to keep working with it. And I was so motivated, I did, and now I do get a lot. So today I'm going to talk to you about the amalgamating and how to do it. And then I'm going to also talk to you about the healing part. I'm not going to talk about today, but I'm also going to talk to you about asking questions, finding out things for yourself. And I will talk about that at the latter part of the show. Anyway, okay, so amalgamation. We have a very simple turn-on switch, the ability to focus consciously. And we use that focus to activate the divine energies we already carry. We're not calling them in from somewhere else. We already have them within, okay? But we need to activate them. They're pretty much dormant for most of the lives because we didn't even know we had it, let alone how to activate it. Even lives and modalities that know you have it don't really instruct you as to how to use it. Some, I'm sure, do. I don't certainly know. I'm not any expert in any other philosophy or spiritual modality, metaphysical teachings. I'm not. I just know what the higher self's information has, I've accumulated over the years and share with you all. But in any case, just to be on the same page, we have the turn-on switch. We all know how to focus, right? If we have a problem, don't we focus on it all the time? We do. We can't get our focus off of it. So we know how to focus. It is something we all come well equipped with. And using that focus, we need to focus on the divine energies we carry. Very simple, guys. Now, it isn't a matter of doing something by rote, like A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You want to focus on the divine energy within. Now, because we're part of the human kingdom, because it's hard to focus on something vague, like we carry some energies within, the higher self suggests, and you'll see I often use symbols, they suggest we use a symbol. And I think I mentioned last week that there are many symbols out there for the pure soul essence. There's the spark of light, the flame of the candle, the light within, the God within. I like to use the sun within, and I can't remember if I mentioned it last week or not, but the sun in itself is so powerful. It's brilliant, brilliant, brilliant light, and it's life-giving. So by using the symbol of the sun as the focal point to help us focus on the pure soul essence, we can more easily connect to the incredible power that this energy is that we carry. Now, you don't have to use a symbol. You don't. It just facilitates, in a way, the ability to focus, just because we're in this five senses kingdom and we're just much more used to having something material or something we can imagine and see in our heads. So, but the power is not in the symbol. The symbol represents the power. So, for example, the word run isn't the act of running. The word run is a symbol for running. And the same way, the sun or the spark of light, even the light within, is a symbol for the energy, these divine energies. So you focus on that. And just imagine, sense, feel, experience, or simply say the words, I am becoming one with, I'm amalgamating with. That's because amalgamation just is to merge with or become one with. I am amalgamating with, or I am one with the divine energies, my pure soul essence. And you can visualize, sense, experience, imagine the energy, symbolic light expanding in through and around the physical body, into every cell, every organ, every system, even in the nanospaces between those systems and organs. And yet you don't want to stop there. You want the light to continue to expand, to encompass the totality of your etheric bodies, I haven't talked much about the etheric bodies, but I did mention it in one of the episodes. It's where all our energetics are held. We think a thought, we create an energy identity, it moves into what the higher selves call a thought form body. I have not gone into any detail about it. I've written a book about it. I've talked about it on so many of my other prior radio shows that I haven't expanded upon it, but the information is out there everywhere. So if you're interested, you can listen to the podcast or read my book. You can also email me if you really would like me to talk about it on the show. I will. It's just that for a half hour, there's so much to cover. I just sort of go to the place where, gee, it's already out there. Maybe I shouldn't just be repetitive. But honestly, I'm happy to do so if somebody wants to write me. Jay, I'll give you my email at the end of the show, okay? Okay, so we want to see this brilliant symbolic light that we are expanding to encompass everything, including the body, now the etheric bodies. You want it to encompass the totality of your fourth dimensional facade soul, that very human, very wonderful part of you, that the humanity that you are, at the totality of that. And you also want it to expand to encompass the fifth dimensional part of you, which includes your higher selves. Now, your higher selves, I did explain in, I think, some detail in the first of this series, are aspects of your fifth dimensional soul. They are you, the most evolved part of you. They carry a tremendous amount of knowledge, ability, energy, everything. Just trust me, we have a lot. So we have the pure soul essence, that's everything originating source was and is becoming. And we also carry that true soul essence, which is really, in a way, easier for us to access because it is us. Not that the pure soul essence isn't, but we have that soul, we're carrying that dual soul nature. So it's kind of like talking to ourselves, okay? So anyway, you want to see this light continue to expand and encompass the totality of the facade human soul, of the true soul essence. And this includes the higher selves, as I was saying, because they are part of you. And so you become part of or merged with or amalgamated with. And in essence, you, by doing this process, you are giving permission for all of these parts of you that are in the divine will frequency to become one and enter the free will for the healing, for the information gathering, for whatever you're going to be using it for. And trust me, once you start using it, you're going to find time to use it more and more. It's powerful stuff, guys. So that's the first step, to become amalgamated with the totality of who you are, okay? The second step is simply to move into or become one with, amalgamated with the originating source of all there is. Now, we already carry the pure soul essence, so maybe why would we do that? Well, we do that because by moving into that energy field, we move into the oneness and the nowness of that frequency level. And it's our guarantee that all the information or the energy, the healing, anything that you ask for or want activated in your life comes in at the very highest level that you can handle in that moment. We could never handle the totality of the highest frequency of the originating source. We just can't. It would literally kill us off. But it comes down in a de-intensified manner, and it moves into our arena at the highest level that we can handle at that point in time. So, very important. Now, once you're amalgamated, you can then use those energies, as I was saying earlier, to heal. Now, again, I am not going to go into the healing yet, not on this show. Maybe I should have done that, but I have something else to share with you that I just can't wait to share, so I'm probably not doing it in perfect order. But something really wonderful happened in my meetup group this past Saturday, and I want to share it because it inspired me to reach out to the rest of the people that are part of my community. The people on the radio show, watching the video on YouTube, the people who are, on my mailing list and my Facebook. What I did was, I was so inspired, I put out a request on Facebook, just to my small little, whatever it is, Facebook group, and nobody responded. So I realized I needed to explain it a little bit, okay, and put it out to a larger group, because I just was so excited that I just threw it on Facebook and didn't put enough thought into, well, people probably really had no clue what I meant. And what I put out there is, let me know, send me either in the comment section or somewhere, send me a message of a question that you would like answered, and the higher selves will answer it for you. Well, I said, not a yes-no question, and not a question like, what are the winning lottery numbers going to be next week? Just any kind of random question. Well, I'm sure people were like, I have 1,000 or 10,000 or 100,000 questions. What? I don't get what she means exactly. So that's why I'm explaining it here, because in my meetup group on Saturday, when the people came in, every week it's slightly different, and this, I like to keep it sort of fresh and different and flexible. I said to people, well, you can either get a healing from me, and they're kind of mini healings, but I said you can get a healing from me, or you can ask a question. So the people in the group chose, some people chose one, some chose the other, and some chose both. So before I started, I got what everybody wanted to do, and there was one gal who had a medical, not a medical, but a healing thing, and she said she wanted that, and then she also had a question. I said, okay, what's the question? She said, what about the dinosaurs? And she didn't clarify. I wasn't nervous, because I know the higher selves will come in and say something. So I said, okay. And then after we went around and I got all the topics, I started with people, and she was the third one in line, and I did her healing request first. Then, oh, I forgot to say, when she said that, immediately, sort of slightly behind and off to her right, I saw a line of about 10 to 12 dinosaurs come in. It was just a symbolic line, and there was, all the ones we all know, the T-Rex and the Brachiosaurus and the Triceratops, and all of those kind were in. I think there was a pterodactyl. I mean, just the ones that you see in books and on the Discovery shows on TV and stuff like that. So I thought, okay, this is interesting, but I didn't know what was going to happen. So then I get to her turn, and here's the line of dinosaurs, and they step forward. Now, keep in mind, these are symbolic. These aren't actual dinosaurs. They're symbolic. But what happened was, from each and every dinosaur, all at once, the soul, now it wouldn't have been one soul for all pterodactyls, for example, but a soul, just because it was an example, each and every one showed me the evolution, and it was all at once, the souls moved forward out of the dinosaur thing, like this 3D picture of all of their movements through the various animal evolutionary stages they were in, and then it stopped where they were now. I mean, I started to cry because it was a powerful, powerful symbol. The higher selves went on to speak to the lady. I told them speak to the group, not just the woman who watches the show, by the way, and who listens to the show. And I just want to say hello to her and thank her for, because of that question, I have an example for you guys. It's so perfect. Anyway, the higher selves came in and said, even though the dinosaurs became extinct, any animal that becomes extinct, it doesn't mean the souls are lost. They continue to evolve, whether on the same planet or different planets. They continue to evolve, and symbolically, each one had were at a different place in their evolutionary field. I saw some as apes, monkeys. I think there was a dog there. I saw 2 or 3 as very, very early humans, more like caveman looking, you know, very hairy and that kind of thing, just very like Neanderthal-ish looking. I don't know for sure that those souls were, the early humans probably were not on this planet. I don't know. I wasn't given that information because it wasn't important. What the higher selves were trying to say is that even when a species goes extinct, the souls are never lost. They continue their journey on some other planet or this planet in a more, wherever their soul evolution takes them. So it was fascinating, and we were all, I'd gotten some, when I was in Asia recently, I got a lot of information about the animal kingdom, soul evolution at the animal level. It was fascinating, and it's the 4th book, nipping at my heels. I still have to write my 3rd book, but more information keeps coming in, and the higher selves also did give us some new information that I hadn't had before. I had never had that symbol. I thought it was so interesting and so illustrative. Maybe I can find, when I get to that book, somebody who's a good artist that can actually draw that. It kind of is like those books where you see the evolution and you see, you know, it's a fish, and then you see the next stage is this animal climbing out onto the earth, and then you see the next stage, you know, they're I don't know, some crocodile or something, and then maybe you see it goes into, you know, some kind of mammal, and into an ape or monkey, and then an ape, and then, you know, and it's, you know, then you see man is kind of, you know, slumped over, and then you see the man standing, and it's Homo sapiens. And so it was kind of like that, except it was 3D. So I saw symbolically the journey of these souls that started hundreds of millions of years ago as dinosaurs. So it was very, very, very interesting. Now, to get back to the point of that story is that you can ask any question of me. It doesn't matter how random. This woman who's become a dear friend, she just is so, she loves animals. And so that's where her heart went. She went right to the animal kingdom. And so that was a question she wanted to ask. Next week, it could be something else. It doesn't matter what the question is. It can be physical, emotional, personal, impersonal, general, anything. And I will answer it on the show for you. I'll go into frequency. Now, when I answer it, even though you've given it to me, it's easier than calling in. Calling in doesn't really work for me because I've got 2 shows going, you know, the video and the blog talk. I'm not really, I can't do like 18 things at once. So if someone calls in, I'll just get flustered. And so it's better if you email me. Now, even though I have the question, I know you think, oh, she's going to go make something up or something. You might think that, but I won't. If you ask the question, I'll do it right here on the show, give you the higher self answer. I want to inspire you guys that you can get your own information. Now, I've developed it, I've practiced it, I get it in different ways. I can pick it up like a receiver, word for word. I can get it downloaded as a concept, and I put my own words around it. But I'm still growing, I'm still learning, I'm still perfecting, and it just keeps expanding. And you guys can do this too. And it won't take you very long, I don't think, because the energy on this planet is so much higher than it was when I started. So you have, you know, a wind at your back. You have a big leg up because of the energy that's on the planet. And, you know, maybe if I don't get anybody asking me questions, I might talk about this energy next week. Certainly we'll talk about it soon because everybody's aware of it. And I would just like to give the higher selves information about it because it's pretty fascinating and understandable. So, okay. So the whole point is when you do the amalgamation, you can use that divine light to heal. It's not me that does the healing. It is the light, the divine energies you carry that you have activated through the amalgamation to come in and do what it needs to do. Now, when I explain the healing itself, oh my gosh, I'm beginning to get a list here. When I explain the healing itself, I will absolutely explain exactly what you do. And it's so simple too, you just can't imagine. Everything is so simple. Because it's new, you might think, oh my gosh, that's way too complex. But if, you know what, if you want me to do a healing on air, I will. If you don't want to ask a question, but you have an issue you want me to heal, I'll do it so that people can see what it looks like. How about that? So you have just what I gave the meetup group. You can have write in and ask me to do a healing, or you can write in and ask me a question. And I did that. I did healings on all my prior shows. Almost every single one, I would do a healing. So you can experience the healings in many, many different places. Well, it's mostly in podcasts. I do have some on YouTube, but not that many. But it's really the podcasts, all those radio shows. I had periods where it was only healing. I had periods where I did information and then healing. So, and I did them on people, live, dead, the planet, the animals, the plant. I mean, it's everywhere. An issue, person, the universe. I mean, with this kind of having the ability to tap into these very, very powerful energies, you're not limited. And I'm learning that too as I go. And it's just, I don't hold myself back. If I have an idea, oh, maybe I should try this, I just do. And so you all can do it. You all absolutely can do it. So we're coming to the end of the half hour. So the amalgamation process is simply becoming one with the light, activating the light, focusing on it, using the symbol, whatever it might be, focus on that light and see yourself moving to the center of it and the light simply engulfing you, becoming one with you, merging with you, however you want to imagine or think it or experience it, and continuing on to encompass the totality of parts of you have known and unknown. There's so much that we are that we don't know. And once you do that, you've activated and given permission, invited in the divine that you carry within, then move into symbolically the center of the originating source, which is the guarantee that you're going to be absolutely doing everything at the highest level. There's more to it than that, but I don't want to explain anything more because even if you don't know the more to it, it's as powerful. So I don't want to cloud everything. And the other thing is my email, JV, V as in Victor, 2 V's, J Victor Victor, JVVM as in Mary, Richmond, RICHMOND @gmail.com. I did hear from somebody this week. It was so fun. So I'm excited. I've heard from many people over the years, but this was someone who saw me on YouTube. So that was the first. So I'm very excited since I've just started the series and, I don't think people know who I am. But anyway, I really, really, really want to thank everyone for the opportunity to talk with you, to be with you, to share with you, and for you all share back. I really invite you. I invite you into my world. I love this day. It's so important to me. I look forward to it all week. And so I want to tell you with all my heart, I love you and appreciate each and every one of you. And with that, I think I better end the episode and I'll be back next week. Okay.